want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles, located at 204 East McGalliard Road in Muncie and on eBay as well. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit. Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Alex from Plus 3 TCG, and I'm coming at y'all with a discussion today. As you can see in the title, we're going to be talking about the Judges Program, something that's very important to the player base, because considering rules, you know what I'm saying? Rules and rulings have always been something important for players to grasp in any card game. I don't really know about other card games, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Has quite the issue with rulings in the text of some of the older cards and even some of the new ones. And we really rely heavily on our judges to hash these rulings out, but in this resolution, there kind of lies a problem. And the problem we face is that our judges do not necessarily have the best foundation of knowledge all the time. And this is partially because the qualifications to become a judge are quite honestly atrocious. The RC1 is all you need to qualify as a judge, and if any of you have taken that test, you will know the questions on said test have zero representation of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Of today. The questions are outdated and may have been relevant during the time of the tests when it was made, but now they have little relevance and hardly evaluate any sort of knowledge a judge should have. This knowledge should include subjects like card targeting, missing timing, PSCT, and subjects that generically just cause a lot of discourse in the community, especially amongst newer competitive players and judges. There needs to be some sort of curriculum drawn up or a more effective assessment on whether or not one should really be a judge. And I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. And anyways, so moving on. So about a year ago, Julia, the head of the Judges Program, talked about the fact that keeping up with the Judges Program is becoming a task too difficult to keep up with anymore. Now, I'm not making any statements by any means about Julia or her character. I mean, honestly, I've heard nothing but good things about her. I'm not saying she's an evil person or someone that doesn't care about us or the community. She's a human being, and I'm sure she's busy with various other tasks that Konami probably voluntold her to do. However, that does not excuse the fact that someone has not been tasked out to do this. Maybe me. Preface all this before I start talking about how we can do something about this, and I start sounding like a know-it-all. My undergrad is in secondary English education, and that kind of, I guess, gives me some qualification to talk about how we can change a test, because as an education major, you have to be able, or as a teacher in general, you just have to be able to, one, create curriculum, and two, create good assessments so that your students are assessed appropriately, and they're assessed on things that matter. And from a teaching standpoint, there is a quick fix to this problem. One, we need to create a curriculum that defines the subjects a judge should understand, such as the ones mentioned previously. Two, based on said curriculum, create a test that effectively encompasses the subjects we're talking about here. Once guidelines are established and recorded for what a judge should know, updating these guidelines becomes much easier than it would right now, because we are doing it as the game evolves, which honestly, that's how it should be. And so instead of judges that are strictly judging events based on their experience in the game, with an updated test and curriculum, newer judges can come to the events with a solid foundation of knowledge instead of strictly relying on experience in the game. We can't keep letting people make mistakes on rulings and hopefully learning from them. From a teaching standpoint, that is not an effective way of learning. And if we as a community want people to learn this game, we have to give them a solid assessment. And if our judges are the ones we're expected to go to, and the foundational test to become a judge is what we are putting our faith in, all we can do is hope for an experienced judge at an event, because if they're new, they're just not going to have the knowledge or the experience that most players are going to need when they're asking for rulings. And that's not okay when we're trying to play an objective game. So I guess, like, to wrap this up, Konami should probably hire some help for Julia. You know, someone who has experience in curriculum and assessment design, and someone who has extensive knowledge on card rulings as well, and things of that nature. And hopefully people in the community can, like, quit blaming Julia and the Judges Program for all the problems. I mean, partially, I guess Julia and the Judges Program is to blame, but they're humans and they have a lot of other stuff to do other than make tests for us. So why not just task this out to people who want to help Julia and the judges program, like myself? Because she's only one person and she can only do so much. And like I said, I heard she's a pretty cool person, so I don't know. Tell me what y'all think below in the comment section. Let me know if you think I am way off base with this judges test, but I would like to think that coming from a teacher's perspective, this test is very ineffective for our judges because we need a better foundation of knowledge, as I stated previously before. But let me know what you think about in the comment section below. And this is Alex from Plus 3 TCG signing out, y'all.